running back. Also, the question this offseason, what else do they have? We'll find out more on Thursday when they take the field against the Niners. As for now, they are on the field in Oxnard, as is Jane Slater, who joins us live. They're behind you. I see them. Jane, what's happening?
Yeah, they're doing some 11-on-11 work right now. We saw first-team offense getting in there earlier, and really nice catch from Michael Gallup, a guy that's been pretty consistent. Their young guy, the rookie, stepping up. And, you know, we've talked about that. That's been sort of the issue for Dak, is finding consistency with all of these new wide receivers. With the exception of Cole Beasley and Terrence Williams, we've got new guys that they've added to the mix. Guys like Deontay Thompson, who's still out with a strained Achilles, but they did get Allen Hurns back, who was dealing also with his own little issue earlier in the week, and he looked strong yesterday. And Dak just talking about the fact that he's beginning to get some of that chemistry, beginning to get into a rhythm, and I think that's what's going to be important about this preseason and these practices, really seeing what these guys have and seeing what guys steps up, because you've got a lot of production to account for when you think about the loss of Jason Witten and Des Bryant.
Yeah, Jane, you bring up a good point. Obviously, working on chemistry, you need reps to do that. As they move toward that first preseason game on Thursday against the Niners, you have to wonder how much we'll see Dak Prescott, because normally starters will just play, like a series, maybe a couple more snaps than that, and then they'll take them out. Does he need more than that?
I would think so, unfortunately. You know, it's one of those things where if you're playing at an all-pro level, then they get you out pretty quick. But if there's any kind of inconsistency from last year, it's the same coaching staff that comes in, they're going to want to see some type of rhythm, some type of play on the positive side. So if they're able to go out there and run the football and Dak can make some plays, I'm sure Jason Garrett would love to get him out of the game as fast as he can. But you also want to get a little bit of momentum before you hit the regular season.
I'll have to agree. I think at this point in the training camp, you have to see the chemistry being built between receivers and quarterback. And like you said, this is his year to shine. This is his team now. He's going into his third season. He has no really go-to receiver there. He has to build a rapport. So as the weeks go by, it's going to get closer and closer to week one, and that's crunch time. So you need a quarterback and receivers to be all on the same accord. And for the timing routes, they have to know that what Dak wants and where he wants to put it.
You know, I look at this team, and I know a lot of the focus is on Dak, and it's on Zeke, and people are worried about Zeke's workload. But last year, you know, when the team really struggled, it's when Tyron Smith got hurt. And when Sean Lee wasn't there was a huge difference in the defense. Sean Lee could be the best player on the team. Yep. When they lost those veterans, they were in trouble. So what can you do organizationally to make sure that you keep those guys as healthy as possible without failing to give them enough work to get ready?
Well, the training staff and the coaching staff have to come together and take care of guys like Sean Lee, like you alluded to. He is the spirit of the defense. It probably is, you know, the heart of the team. But at the same time, you have to have Dak step into the leadership role now. He has to be more vocal, and he has to not only say it, but he has to prove his work ethic with the teammates and in the film room as well.
I think kind of to that point, and Dak being the leader and the main guy on this team, Zeke is going to have – the nice thing is you do have a good offensive line, you have Zeke, but that can only do so much. You don't have a guy that dictates coverage on the outside. You don't have a guy like Dez that can take a safety in a corner. You basically have, you know, Cole Beasley, who you just take your best corner, put him on Cole, and then the rest of the guys have to just work and get open. You can load the box up like you faced, Steven, a ton your entire career, is 8, 9 guys in the box trying to stop the run game. Dak has to beat you. It's no secret for the Dallas Cowboys in 2018. Dak Prescott is going to have to beat every team that he faces, throwing the football from the pocket and winning one-on-ones with guys that we don't even know.
Jane, I heard you pipe up. What did you want to say?
Well, I thought Elliott brought up a really good point there. That really was the issue for the team last year, is when you lost Tyron Smith. This is a guy that doesn't miss a lot of games. The good news for the Cowboys this offseason was that he was able to start some training on his own out here on the West Coast, did a lot of Pilates, a lot of core strength, and he was able to avoid surgery. But we saw more injuries pop up for Tyron Smith, who is so durable and so reliable at left tackle than we've seen in recent years. And then, of course, with Sean Lee, every time he comes off the field, they just really struggle to stop the run. They're being very deliberate with those two at camp, so they're getting some veteran rest day. So to answer Elliott's question, it's really about making sure they're very careful with those guys in camp, holding them out, two guys that don't like coming off the football field, but recognizing their importance to this team and sort of taking that in stride.
Good stuff, Jane. Lots more from Cowboys camp on the way. Eager to get Steven Jackson's thoughts on Ezekiel Elliott and the Cowboys' plans